Alright, what's up, Dragon Brood? Today we're going to be taking a look at Clerics, because I haven't played those in a minute, and we got a couple of new Lifegain pieces, which I think could work out pretty well here. But maybe we can win using Lifegain as a tool to eventually get rid of our opponent. So obviously, if we're going to be playing Lifegain, we might as well lead into all those things that are getting us life, and that's going to start with Lunarch Veteran. This is the most obvious 1-mana thing. What I like about this though a lot is when it dies, we can have it as a creature that's a flyer, because we're not going to have a ton of flyers, but I think it will matter at the later stages of the game. We're also going to be playing a few copies of Deep Cavern Bat. I'm not really sure if I'm going to play 2, 3, or 4 yet, so we'll probably be experimenting throughout the video. But the cool part about this is it does have life gain or lifelink, and it lets us take a card from the opponent, which could buy us enough time to do some of the things we need to do. Also going to play a couple of copies of LSL Core. While it's not super relevant to the deck, it is a life gainer. Whenever you have a creature come into play, you gain a life. It is a Phyrexian, but it happens to also be a Cleric, which is great, because it means we won't have a problem casting it with our quirky lands. I also want to give a shout to Graveyard Trespasser. Now, this isn't a Cleric, but it's only 1 black mana, so we should be in okay shape to be able to cast it. But it does actually gain life every turn while draining our opponent, which is also important, because at some point, we have to move their life total down. We're also going to be playing some Shieldred the Apocalypse, because this does both life gain and life loss, so we love that. And one of the new clerics we're going to take a look at here is Preacher of the Schism. What I like about this is it can always be an attacker just with Death Touch and a 2/4, and that's actually fine. Or it can actually create a life linker, which helps us out. Or you get to draw cards, right? So this is a win all the way around in here. Also, before we talk about some of the other spells, be sure to listen to my little pitch here from a sponsor.
CoolStuffInc.com is a proud sponsor of this channel. And you can show your support while getting 5% off your entire order by using promo code DRAGON at checkout. Need singles for constructed or kitchen table play? Looking to pick up sealed product or the latest in Magic accessories? We've got you covered. CoolStuffInc.com is the place for all your Magic the Gathering needs. And support this channel by using promo code DRAGON at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
And remember, if you're buying cards or anything, any of your nerd stuff from Cool Stuff, they do support the channel and they really appreciate that, which means they'll keep sponsoring me. We have another life gain spell to talk about though, and that's Virtue of Persistence. It doubles as removal, obviously, but the life gain could be important. And obviously, if we're able to get back things at the graveyard, that's just a nice bonus. Now, 2 things we are going to be playing that heavily benefit from the life gain is Voice of the Blessed. You've probably seen this a lot. You gain life, put counters on it. It eventually flies, beats down the opponent. But we're also going to play Amalia Benavides, and I don't think I've actually played this card in a deck yet this season, so this will be the first time I've actually given this one a go. It's not a Cleric, but it does care about the life gain and can become a sizable creature, so we're going to go ahead and give it a shot today. Now, a couple other interesting cards we're going to play to buy us some time is we're going to play a couple of copies of Invasion of Gobekhan, because this can slow down a sweeper, it can protect our creatures, it can just do a lot of really good things for us. And the same thing can kind of be said here of Anointed Peacekeeper, slowing the opponents down on a key card or a Planeswalker or whatever. If nothing else, this card's good, because same thing with the Invasion of Gobekhan, it just gives you clean information so you know what your opponent's working with and what you need to play around. But those are going to be our key cards for today. If you want to see the full deck list, it will be at the end of the video, or you can go down to the description below, look for the blue arrows. It'll take you to the Moxfield link. You can get this deck list and a bunch of other fun stuff. Let's go see if Lifegain Clerics really have a way to victory. Okay, sure. Why not? I mean, you rarely want to play the Shadowrite Priest first, but, you know, if what's what you got, here we are. Oh, never mind. Let's see what you're holding over there, opponent. I'd rather cast this first, because this is way more interesting for us. Oh, so they're just playing the Flash deck here. This is interesting. Triggered ability, then it turns off all other abilities. So this is going to be a nuisance for us. They only have 2 lands, though, interestingly. You could play that. Doesn't really do much. Alright, let's stop this, I guess. I mean, I guess I could flash in the Cathar Commando as well. Sure. Play this, duder. Now let's see if they find a 3rd land, because that's going to affect quite a few things. Yep, they did find a 3rd land. But they're going to play Takasha's Welcome first. Works for us. Oh, okay. This is cool. So now this is interesting, right? We could... I don't... Dang it. Because we could waste this here, play the Shadowrite Priest to make sure we can kill one of those. But I think we're better off just doing this and playing more correctly here. Let's stop. Do I want to just get rid of Werefox? Probably. Even though I think the Tidebinder is probably going to be more annoying. And then we'll attack one of these. They can block or not. I don't mind. Alright. They could wait, see if we trigger, use the Tidebinder, turn off its thing, you know. But I think we're just going to go here. We have enough mana to survive the Syncopate. So we can attack, Tidebinder can block a trigger, it can kill a Shadowrite Priest. And then what do we do? Like, let's say that happens. Then how do we feel? I don't know. I mean, they can also just flash this in to kill one of the Shadowrite Priests as well. So I actually kind of want to play this so they can counter it. Because then they can't cast anything here. That's exactly what we wanted. Alright, cool. Sometimes people are just too eager to play their counters. And if you can get the right situation, it's worth it. Alright, cool. That's what we want. And now we could sacrifice one of these to turn off a Tidebinder. Or prevent a Tidebinder's ability from doing their thing. Not that we really care, because our creatures are going to be big enough now. And they can use those or whatever if they want to. Like, it's fine. Bodyguard, you're going to target what? Sure. Not worried about it since they have to block a bunch of... Oh, this is cute. Alright, we'll go ahead and steal that back. Thank you. And then we're going to attack. Alright. In the turn. Get bigger. Now what's interesting... Okay, cool. We got lucky there. I was just about to say, Tidebinder, let's see. Enters the battlefield, counters up to one target, activated triggered ability. Yeah, so we actually... If we tried to go off with one of these to protect something, we might have had to crack both of them, because Tidebinder would have been able to stop one of them, but that worked out pretty well for us. Blech. I'm going to keep it, but if we don't get black mana, we're toast. I mean, really, we got to get some relevant spells, too. I mean, this hand needs a lot of things. This is one you should definitely mulligan. Only saving grace is it looks like we're up against a creature deck where maybe we could gain enough life that it would matter. But I don't even know if that's true. I mean, if we get some black mana, we do have some removals, so, I mean, it's possibly something. Alright, you got some 1/1 duders. I'm gonna say, you attack, I'm not blocking. Have a field day. Alright, we found some help. I mean, we're probably still not blocking, and we're going to take like 7. Because they're going to play a dude that pumps their team, I imagine, here. Or Brutal Cathar. That's also relevant. Interesting. So, usually when you see that, the opponent's either saving to counter, or they want to flash in one of their things and whatever. So we're just going to do this. I mean, our removal is more important. We're not wasting it on that stuff anyway. So if they want to counter something, this is fine. Alright, they're going to let us have it. Okay, works for me. No attacks. No reason to. We flashing in some more reinforcements? Yep. Okay. They could also, like, play a guy, pump their team, get lost here on the Preacher of Schism. So, oh, Harbin. That's exciting. Yep. That's not great. Good thing we have ways to kill Harbin and gain life on next turn. Gee, bus. That had potential to not be great for us. They can still attack for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Actually, would that be exactly 12 next turn? Yeah, it would be, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it'd be 11. Yeah, that's kind of gross. I really don't want to waste this to kill. So, do we have to, though? Like, just to be on the safe side? Which feels kind of ugly, but maybe it's true. We do get to attack. Well, we don't get to draw a card. We make a 1/1. Because we're behind on life. Dang it. I don't know what to do here. I think we're attacking for sure. Let's get in with Preacher. We're not blocking with these. Actually, F it. We're not blocking with anything here, right? We get a 1/1 blocker anyway if they don't have another Harbin. So, sure. Let's see what happens. I mean, another Harbin puts us real low, though. I mean, like, for real. I mean, they attack, we block with our lifelinker to save some damage, obviously. But kind of all we get to do there. Oh, you're an interesting card. Okay. Let's see what the opponent wants to do with that. I'll say, if you got a tricky thing, now's the time to use it. All right, there's a Zephyr Sentinel. Which I guess bounces a reinforcement. Opponent says, oops. Interesting that they didn't just play the... So you can have a Werefox. I don't know how much we care about that. I guess a wedding announcement is more annoying at this point. I don't know. Sure. Alright, gain our life. Now if we attack here, they could block with like Officer and 3 things or Zephyr Sentinel and 3 things, but I think we're kind of okay with that if they do. Matter of fact, I'm even getting in with this little 1/1 because why not? Trade 1 for 1. Alright, they just let us have all that. Cool. I'm into it. Sure, you have a Werefox. That is going to try to deal with our Preacher, I guess. I mean, we're getting into the range that we could almost just kill them with Shieldred. Alright. What else you got? They have something else for 1 mana. I don't know what that is. But they're doing some math, counting their creatures. Which is always a little bit unnerving, I'm not going to lie. Oh, well that makes obvious sense. Why wouldn't it be that? I was like, what else was it going to be? Right? Okay. So, oh, and it's a get lost. Wow. So, if we kill their 2 creatures, we just win, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's, virtue away that. I mean, we see their hand. I mean, we're playing with perfect information here. I mean, we only had to kill... Well, yeah, we had to kill more than that. Well, no, really. Either... Yeah, just killing one of them was good enough. Okay, that's a sweet win. Not the way I expected to get there, but we'll take it. Oh, boy. Alright, I'll keep this. But it's interesting because none of these actually life gain, but these care about it. Now, depending on what they play, we can end up having to kill something on 2, which would not be the worst thing, and we just play the Preacher on 3. And if we still have a full life... Well, no, we'd lose life. Not sure how this is going to work, actually. Trying to think of ways this makes sense. Wow, what do I want to go with here? Maybe we start here? In case they have something... I was going to say, maybe they could have had a play with fire or something, or at least lost life to kill the creature. Ended up not having it, though, which is interesting. Okay, so they have mana. I guess we're mostly okay, all things considered. Because we can still kill a creature and play a voice next turn. I mean, we'll have to manually tap arena correctly, lands correctly, so the auto tapper doesn't get us. Hulking Raptor. Well, we won't get to play 2 things a turn. That's no longer a thing. Alright. Now, see, this is always tough. I think we still have to kill it. I don't love this, but I think we have to kill it. Mostly because if we don't, we're just dealing with something bigger, and if it's like a Tali or something next turn, it could just end up being significantly worse. Alright, man, I wish I would have had this last turn. I would have much rather used this than a Go for the Throat on that. Because this could just well be a big 7/6 Carnosaur. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. Maybe they'll hit another Lore Keeper or something? Oh, no chance. They hit big money. That's no good. Alright, well, I guess on the plus side, if we want to look on the positive, we do have a pile of clerics. Now, does the opponent want to trade us for something? That's a whole different question. It's also weird because, like, we could attack with this, gain some life, those would increase, but I don't know if that's even enough to make it worthwhile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the difference here on these. I think I'm going to play one of those and one of these. No attacks. And that at least possibly makes some creatures big enough if I need to double or triple block or something here. Don't know that I will, but it's something. I may still end up attacking with the Preacher of the Schism anyway. That's what I was afraid. I thought they might play that earlier in the game, and I was really worried about that, actually. Yeah, I was going to say, now it's just worth it for us to block because it just doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, we can't punch through a First Striker, so that's whatever. Okay, now we're talking a little bit. I can't play... Oh, I can play all of these, though, actually. Okay, so that works. Then we play this next. Get some life. All right, now we're a little late, but we're starting to cook a little bit here. All right. Yeah, you can stay on top too, buddy. Now we got some things we can work with here. Let me think about this. Do I attack and trade for the Carnosaur? Or do we wait a turn? Because we know we're going to get to play this. Ugh, and I can also just target something to gain life, too. I think we take a chance and don't attack here. I think there's more value to be had next turn. Oh, gosh, they found another Carnosaur. This could be a mistake. And they got a 3-1 off that. That was, like, the worst possible exchange for us. It would have been hard for that to be worse. And they got a Valor stance? Oh, my gosh. Like, the fact... Like, okay, so I did a short recently talking about how bad Triumphant Chomp was. And people are trying to tell me, oh, it's not that bad, this, that, and the other. But the reality is, even in Dinosaur decks, a lot of them aren't even playing Triumphant Chomp. They're splashing other removal, or they're just playing... Well, yeah, they're mostly just playing something off color because they're just better. Or playing, like, the Witches, whatever, the deal 5, it costs less thing. What is this thing? Make an 8/8 with Reach? Reach on community control that has... You may have that creature sometimes, or as though it weren't blocked. Jeez. That's kind of garbage, huh? It's not great. Not great. Let me think about this. If I block with Lunarch Veteran, I mean, I guess so. Sure. Well, no, that won't be... Yeah, that'll be enough to stop it for now. Alright, I guess so. I'll just hate myself. I mean, I needed something to buy some time, though, you know? Alright, so we play this. We can at least get a big creature to put in the way. That blocks a flyer. That doesn't help, other than letting us play this, but we might just be too little too late. Do I care? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but you're likely to get another treasure there anyway. I mean, I guess we kill one of these? I mean, a 3/1's annoying, but I don't know if we care that much. Man, I've gotten lands off of this thing, too. I only got spell one time, I think. I don't even think it was a one time. Alright. No attacks. We're almost getting into a space, though, that we could potentially attack. Oh, God, they have an Imperiosaur? Oh, we're so toast here. I mean, the only thing we can get in their yard of any relevance would be, like, Hammer Skull, which doesn't do... Alright, cool. We're dead. They drew all the stuff they needed. Like, jeez. Alright, let's go. Oh man, why do I feel like this Cavern Bats is not going to do the work we want it to do? I think I'm going to lead with this invasion first. To slow down something next turn that could be bad for us. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, what? There's a roaming throne? Oh, is this the... Oh, this is the tokens Boros aggro-y whatever thing. Got it. Wow, they only have 2 land. But if they get another one, roaming throne is kind of annoying. They're going to be able to empty their hand next turn. All right, this is going to get tough. We're going to take a lot of damage. Things are going to get bad before they get good. But here's a strategy. We could play Peacekeeper, slow down some other card if they draw it. Then we could get rid of something to gain 3. We could Cavern Bats to remove another problem. Alright, well, they found one of the other bad problems before we could do anything about it. Really wish they would have had that in hand. That would have helped us out so much more. They didn't find a land there, though, so that's something. Oh, do I just take the bat now? I mean, take this now with the bat? Problem is I can't. I need to be able to play 2 things next turn. Ugh. And if they get a land, they'll be able to play the Bunny Corn. Oh, man. This is just not going to go any way we want it to, is it? Yeah, I'm just trying to think of, like, the most efficient way to play this, and there's just not a good way here. This is tough. I mean, we're going to say Bunny Corn. Like, but I'm not really attached to this play, let me tell you. Okay, they didn't immediately get a land, so that's a positive. Oh, that's not even... That's a treasure. Gosh, dang it. It's not a treasure, it's a blood. I was thinking it was a treasure. Yeah, I could have totally got something else from their hand and played this turn differently. That's stupid. And I know that's a blood token, too. It's one of those things where your brain just skips. Yeah, that was pretty bad. No blocks. Pretty dumb on my part. Alright, we're going to set that on Cleric. Well, knowing the situation is what it is now. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, Hair Talk's in there too? Bruh, y'all, you're trying to bring the pain for real. Well, they're a long way from casting that, so I'm not even gonna sweat that too much. Alright. And we're just gonna play this. No attacks. So hopefully we can get some triggers onto Amalia, gain some life off of a Shieldred, or kill a creature or whatever. Buy us some turns to get around this Knight Errant being a pain in our butt. And hopefully all these taxing effects are beneficial. I mean, at this point, do we just... Well, we'd have to double block there. I think we block this, but we take the difference. I think is fine. It's a little tough, don't get me wrong. A little bit risky, but I think it's okay. Oh, well, that makes it a lot okay. That changes things significantly. Alright, so we get a point back. Hopefully grow this creature. We will absolutely leave that on top. We will play this. And then we'll use this as an opportunity to kill a thing. So let's just say one of these. Doesn't really matter greatly. And again, we know what's on top. We're going to leave it there. And then we can start the plan of Shieldred, you know, whatever. Start working our way through. Alright, you have a Ocean Shoulder. That's fine. Or Frontier, I should say. Frontliner. I didn't even get it right on the second try. Look at that. One of them days. Alright, now we're at the point where we're turning this around. Like, this is the advantage. Yeah, exactly. Opponent sees it. Yeah, once we got the Preacher, the opponent doesn't have a quality attack. We could block all this up, give up the Preacher. We get that to the backside. Now our creatures are larger. We have another... Well, we have a Shadowrite Priest here, which makes our stuff hard to kill. Or we just play Shieldred, and they're not coming back. That I will say this, though. The opponent's deck is actually a good one. I played it, and I'm probably going to do one for this season, too. But it does make itself susceptible to those types of draws. And I think the error in the opponent's build is playing Roaming Throne and Ohairtalk. I don't think that's what it needs to be playing. Though, you can play Anam Pakal and stuff like that in the deck, and it makes a lot of sense. But, yeah, good deck, though. I just think we just caught them where, you know, they play low mana, and we just had all the right cards to slow them down enough. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to keep this, just hope we draw creatures that are relevant. We're going to gamble. There's a real chance this does not work out for us. Yep. Only thing I can hope for is they're playing mono blue and we find a pile of clerics with the Cavern of Souls. That's literally our only hope right now. Yeah, that's not going to be great for us. Alright, come on, deck. We need some help. Okay, that works for us, actually. So here's what we're going to do. Oh, man. Dang it. I was wanting to play around it so they don't know we have a Cavern of Souls, but, like, would they just counter a Lunarch Veteran? Alright, let's see. Maybe they will. Blue decks, let's say, they get kind of cast happy with their counters, so it kind of made sense to do, because we weren't going to pay for it anyway, and we still get the flyer, and it's a cleric on the backside, so, I mean, it's something. Alright. We're now it's just hoping they don't have multiple Haughty Djinns, because not a lot we can do otherwise. I mean, I say that. I guess I do have an Iganjo, but that could be something. All right, there's a Malcolm. Try this. All right, so we have a counter, huh? Is that what you're telling us? All right. You can counter this, probably. Make us pay 2 that I don't have? Nope, they're just going to bounce something. Fair enough. Okay. Doing what we can. Alright, another Haughty Djinn. Alright, that's it. Y'all, seriously, word to the wise. If you are playing on the standard ladder, stay away from playing the mono blue deck. There's so many theme decks being played right now, whether it's humans, or in my case, clerics, dinosaurs, pirates. Hell, I played a Phyrexian deck yesterday. Like, you just will not be able to counter very many things. Like, yes, your opponent still has to draw the Cavern of Souls, but you're already playing around so many other things, and now Cavern of Souls on top of it. And on top of it, it's like, okay, well, now you're having to play around that. Even here, the opponent, like, I still have multiple ways to deal with their Haughty Djinn, and they're already at 13. So it's like, yeah, you just can't. You just can't. I mean, you can, but it feels like you're going to have a bad time. Alright, I guess we're going to keep it. Oh my gosh. We're going to need more removal cards, team. We're going to need a lot more. Like, a gross amount more. Alright, I think we just have to take it. Oh no, this is not helping our cause any. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna attack, because we're obviously not blocking with it, and we're not gonna get a chance to block if they have a removal card here. I mean, Get Lost is alright if we get rid of like a Hallowed Haunting or something, but not sure what we're doing with it otherwise. I mean, I guess we could use it to get rid of like Calyx if he shows up. Oh, speaking of the devil. Yep, you got it. Sure. Alright, no blocks. Oh, that's unfortunate. Ugh. I mean, I'll attack here, see if they're maybe willing to trade for their Calyx. I'd be down. I didn't think they would, but yeah, maybe. Dang. Alright, I think I just have to take a chance to try to just kill their Calyx here with a Get Lost or something. Otherwise, we don't really have much going on. Alright. That's gonna hurt. And we're all the way down to 6 here. Oh, down to 5. And unfortunately now I think this means we have to leave open a Iganjo next turn. We might just be dead anyway. What can we do with this? Like, gain and gain, but that doesn't do enough, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, we still got it. I think the opponent just outdrew us here. Realistically, because we lose a point, gain a point, so that doesn't really help us out that much. No attacks. Yeah, as soon as they just have one removal card for our 5/5, we're toast. Yeah, alright, that's it. Ooh, yeah, sure, why not? Like, we have Invasion into a 3-drop, and we'll just see what happens. I don't know if it's going to be any good. Oh, Lord, what's even happening here? What is this? I for real don't know what's happening. Like, what do we even do with this information? Get rid of Relic just to make everything else harder to cast? That is, oh boy, that's something. All right, well, we got our surprise of the day, I'll tell you that much. Jeez. They could sack that to get whatever color land they need to eventually cast that. But we could cost them a card by playing this, I guess? I mean, that's something. I mean, the good news is Get Lost stops the first problematic thing they play. After that, I don't know what we're going to do. Wait, they didn't get the mana to allow them to play Voidrend, so I guess they found another land, maybe? If so, that's good information to have. Oh, they didn't. Interesting. Alright then. Maybe they, I don't know if they did that purposely or not. Maybe they're worried about some Omnaths or something. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna play this, because I don't know if you have a counter or not, or what's going on over there. End the turn. Alright. I mean, they can try to target something with the Voidrend, and we can blow it up with the Light Shield Array. Or prevent it with the Light Shield Array. What they're looking at right now. Opponent's name, I just realized, is Galaga Valhalla. That's actually a pretty fun name. Alright. Huh. Wow. A good thing we had the start we did, because our hand is trash right now. Okay, I guess we're just attacking then, right? Do I care to kill that? I do want to save that, actually. Now, that's probably a mistake, because there's a chance they just are playing sweepers or something crazy here, but... like, what else are we going to do? Ugh, man. Well, we did everything we could to start out. I mean, if we just only draw lands, is what it is. Alright, Saheeli's fine. We can kill a Saheeli. Oh, we don't even have to kill a Saheeli. We'll just attack into a Saheeli. Opponent made our life a little bit easier. That is cool. Let's send this here. These two here. Yes. Oh, that's removed from my grave. Submit 0. That's fine. Golly, we've drawn land, bat, land, I think was the sequence there, which is pretty gross. Alright, what do we got here? Liliana, doesn't really matter. Alright, cool. Whew. Yeah, the intriguing thing is that stopping the relic put this deck on ice, and this was a really cool, like, Superfriends plus Omnath deck, honestly, with the help of the relic. That's kind of a neat build. Kind of makes me want to try something like that. Okay, so overall, I don't really have a huge problem with how the deck played out. However, I will say that I would like to have a couple of big things I could search for with the Shadowrite Priest. I feel like there's some times where it's just like, man, the board gets gummed up or whatever. And generally, I like to play like a Tox rule. Just a big 7/7, but like you can search for it during the opponent's end step and then just start giving all their stuff minuses. Like that's a pretty big thing that's really nice to do, especially if you have like a Lunarch veteran you could chump away. Or the Lifelink Angel. What's her name? The big one. Liza. I think this is another one, too, that's pretty interesting if you wanted to have these to be able to go get. Just because it goes over the top, it has lifelink, you know, just a really good all-around, you know, size body. But those are probably two things I would try to find my way into the deck. The problem, I would say, though, is I don't know what I would even remove. Like, maybe you could take out, like, a Virtue of Persistence to make room for the Tox roll, or Liza, maybe. I mean, you're not going to take out any of the Shadowrite Priest. You're not going to take out Voice of the Blessed. I mean, Amalia could maybe go if you wanted to do that. But yeah, this is a tough one. It's a pretty tight build as is, but I do have a couple of feelings on it. But we'll talk about that here in a second. But we have 4 Lunarch Veteran, 3 Get Lost, 2 Invasion of Gobakhan, 4 Voice of the Blessed, 2 Deep Cavern Bat, 4 Shadowrite Priest, 2 Amalia Benavides Aguirre, 2 LSL Core, 3 Anointed Peacekeeper, 3 Graveyard Trespasser, 2 Preacher of the Schism, 3 Shieldred, the Apocalypse, 3 Virtue of Persistence, Iganjo, 4 Plains, 5 Swamp, 1 Takenuma, 4 Caves of Korlos, 2 Restless Fortress, 3 Shattered Sanctum, 4 Cavern of Souls. I would say this, though, there is an argument to be made that you could possibly get by with 2 Shieldreds if you wanted to play one of those other big cards in the slot, and then just search up the other one with the Shadowrite Priest. But having 3 Shieldreds is never bad, unless you draw them all at the same time. Okay, so this is interesting because I think this deck, its advantage is basically playing what we like to call in Magic the death and taxes game, right? You're just slowing your opponent's stuff down, getting your big thing, buying enough time to maybe drain their life between like Trespasser and Shieldred, you know, just nickel and diming your opponent. That can be a route to victory. And I would say if you wanted to go that route, it may be even worth pushing a deck even further and removing Amalia and playing like another Anointed Peacekeeper, another Deep Cavern Bat to further slow your opponents down. And I think that could be a really good idea. However, all that being said, I think this deck might still be better being Clerics and Angels, right? Just play a couple of the Clerics that care about life gain and kind of ignore the other stuff like the Shadowrite Priest and whatever, and then just go heavy on Angels. So later this season, if I get around to it, I may try just a black-white version with the Angels and the Clerics and see if that's significantly better. But this wasn't bad. It did what we needed it to do. I wouldn't say it's going to be like a killer, but if you have a lot of these cards already, it is kind of a fun deck to play. And now for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, I believe is his name. This card was really a menace, right? It was so good. Like, the thing about this card is, like, even if you're doing nothing, you're just playing creatures, gaining life, your opponent's in a world of hurt, right? When you gain life, they lose life. And then what's even crazier is later in the game, you're just like, great, all my stuff has lifelink, so I'm going to gain life, you know, and that was it. Like, this card still stands to be pretty popular. I mean, it's not like crazy expensive. You can probably find these for like $5 or $6, but it's still really good and still causes a problem in commander games, right? If you let this thing sit out there too long, it's eventually a lethal attack, even with a bunch of little 1/1s. So, cool card. It's kind of like an all-in-one package. It's somewhat easy to kill, but has a huge payoff. And that's kind of a fun way to balance a card sometimes. And while today's Clerics deck was fun, if you're looking for an interesting, what we'll call theme deck, check out this other deck we play with Ratted Rabbits and some really hard to kill legends. Well, that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.